All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're back here talking about the Chicago Bears. This is a team that is going to severely improve this upcoming season. And it starts and it ends with Justin Fields. But real quick, let's take a look at the overall scope of what the Chicago Bears are doing, what they did this past offseason, and why it matters. All right, so one thing I've really been harping on this channel in the last couple of days is the way the league is and the way the league's been trending is you spend the money on the offensive side. All right, defensively, what you want to do is you want to go young, you want to go fast, but more importantly, you want to go cheap because typically defensive players get hurt at a much quicker rate than offensive players. In fact, we'll go even further and we'll say that 0 of the last 5 Super Bowl winners have been a statistical top 5 defense. So when I take a look at the Chicago Bears right now, specifically their offseason, I look at guys like DJ Moore coming on over, Robert Tonyan coming on over, new draft pick, Rashawn Johnson. There's a lot more pop. There's a lot more zip on the Chicago Bears roster. And the reason this is so important is because Justin Fields doesn't need to be Superman this upcoming year. They're going to make it a lot easier. You're going to see a lot more short stuff, a lot more short yardage stuff, a lot more stuff behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to see more jet sweeps. You're going to see more wide receiver screens. You're going to see more running back screens. Last year, the offense was way too reliant on Justin Fields doing something spectacular. All right. He was running around. He didn't have a crazy amount of targets. And so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Bears fans, if we get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So it's an offensive league. All right, it's an offensive league. Will the Bears defense be perfect this upcoming season? Absolutely not. We'll talk about the defense a little bit later on in the video, but there are a lot of intriguing guys like new additions, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds. I'm a huge fan of Jaquan Brisker. I think he's going to break out in his sophomore campaign. I also think the same with Kyler Gordon. But let's take a look offensively because Justin Fields at the end of, or actually after the first month or two of the regular season, Justin Fields not only improved in general, but he improved with the most important thing that we want to see with the Chicago Bears this upcoming season. He improved as a passer. He severely improved as a passer. In fact, we saw a 63.7% completion percentage from JF1 in the final 12 or so games of that regular season this past season. So when we look on paper with the Bears roster offensively, what do we see? Well, we see Justin Fields, who's coming off like a crazy historical rushing season for a quarterback. He actually had almost 1,200 total yards as a quarterback, 8 total touchdowns, 76 yards per game for your freaking quarterback. But we did see some major strides in the passing game. He finished the season not horrible, all right? Not horrible given the offensive line and given his weapons, especially the injury to Darnell Mooney. 60.4 completion percentage, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That completion percentage this upcoming season is going to be around at least 63%, like it was in the final half of last year. That in and of itself is going to be a huge difference maker for this Bears offense. It's going to run a lot smoother. It's going to run a lot more efficient. But we take a look at the rushing game outside of Justin Fields, a lot more pop, a lot more zip with Khalil Herbert as opposed to David Montgomery. I love David Montgomery. He's a great quality, solid, reliable starting running back. But Khalil Herbert was kind of in his shadows. We saw plenty of flashes, including the first preseason game against the Tennessee Titans, where he ran one to the house. Khalil has more zip, in my opinion, but it doesn't end with Khalil. He can run, he can catch, he can do a little bit of everything. D'Onta Foreman comes on over for the Carolina Panthers, the perfect backup running back to have, because we want to pinpoint Rashawn Johnson. Rashawn Johnson in his final season at Texas got completely overshadowed by, the first round running back in the top 10, Bijan Robinson. But Rashawn Johnson is a coach's dream, and he's going to have a big-time impact on the Chicago Bears roster. I think his rookie season, but especially the future. And considering that technically right now he's running back 3, that's a great place to be. So the point stands that Rashawn Johnson has a very bright future in the NFL and with the Chicago Bears, and whether it happens or starts this season, by the end of his rookie season, whenever it is, he will have an impact on this Bears team in his rookie year. So then we take a look at at the wide receiver room, which is a severe improvement from last season. And I will say, Darnell Mooney, to me, is awesome. He missed time last season. Darnell Mooney, if he's fully healthy this upcoming season, he'll have over 1,000 receiving yards. Chase Claypool, we didn't see too much of Chase Claypool and Justin Fields last season when they traded for him, but I am hopeful that Chase Claypool, if he can just stay healthy, Justin Fields is going to unlock him. He's going to get him back on track because he came out, second round draft pick out of Notre Dame. He put up back-to-back 800 plus receiving yard seasons in his first 2 years with Pittsburgh. He's still very young, been around in the league, and he had that half a season to work with the Chicago Bears system, offense, build that chemistry with Justin Fields. So those were the two guys that were, part of the Bears roster this past season. We just didn't really see the full potential due to injuries, mainly injuries. But DJ Moore, enter DJ Moore. What DJ Moore is going to do for Justin Fields is he's going to make his job so much easier. And we saw it in the first preseason game, and we saw it in the final preseason game. It's yards after catch, man. The Chicago Bears finished dead last in yards after catch last season. DJ Moore, he's going to completely change that. DJ Moore is coming off a technically down season for him, where he still had 900 receiving yards and a career high in touchdowns. The 3 years prior to that, he had 3 straight over 1,100 receiving yard seasons. So DJ Moore is a wide receiver 1, and he is perfect for yards after catch, playmaking ability paired up with Justin Fields. It gets a little bit deeper, though. You still have Equanimeous St. Brown. They picked up Trent Taylor in the waivers a couple of days ago. Intriguing young guys, Velus Jones Jr., hopefully there's something there. Hopefully they can find a way to get him involved, whether it's wide receiver screens, jet sweeps, et cetera, because he has crazy speed. He has crazy speed. He just has, issues, fumbles on special teams, drops. He's a young guy. I'm still hopeful for Velus Jones Jr. And then enter rookie Tyler Scott, who currently, I'm looking at the depth chart right now, he's currently slated as wide receiver number 7. That's going to change in the first 2 months of the season. I guarantee you, Tyler Scott is a great piece for this Bears future at wide receiver. Then we take finally a look at the tight end room. You have Mr. Reliable Cole Kmet, who's in and of itself a very underrated tight end in the league, but they picked up 2 Packer players, Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis is a phenomenal blocking tight end, even at his age, and Robert Tonyan is a great red zone threat. He had 11 touchdowns a couple of years ago with the Green Bay Packers, a great red zone threat to pair up with Justin Fields. So Justin Fields' job is going to be so much easier this upcoming season. So finally, that brings us to the offensive line. And I know there's question marks with the O-line. It's still a young group. You have rookie Darnell Wright coming in, first-round draft pick out of Tennessee at right tackle. You have Braxton Jones, Sioux legend, coming in, entering year 2 at left tackle. Then you have that injury to Tevin Jenkins, who's going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. But when he comes back healthy, I've got Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Cody Whitehair, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright. That's a perfectly fine offensive line as long as they can stay healthy, because there is very little, if any, offensive line depth. So that's a huge thing. If that offensive line is healthy, you're going to see huge improvements just with efficiency for this Bears team, and they're going to win a lot more football games because, as we mentioned in the beginning of this video, it's a scoring league, it's an offensive league, and Justin Fields is a playmaker, and he's one hell of a playmaker. So that's it for today, man. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let's try and get this video to 500 likes. But guys, how are you feeling about this Bears team? Let me know down below in the comments. Peace.